Hello everyone and welcome back to the Hammered Corner. In today's video, I have some essential books, literature and websites that you need when it comes to collecting English hammered and early milled coins. In the first year of my collecting, I felt that any money spent on books was money that I was not able to spend on coins. But in the last 9 months or so, my spending on numismatic literature has vastly outgrown my spending on coins. And just as a disclaimer, these are just some of the handful of books and websites out there. So let's all pitch in to make this the best resource of literature on the internet. So feel free to add your references down below and any links so others can find them too. So firstly, let's start with a must for every new collector, a Sphinx book. There are 2 types of Sphinx books to buy, an English book and an Irish and Scottish book that also includes coins of the Isles and Anglo-Gaelic. The Sphinx book is a great collection of almost every coin, with a rough value of each coin and type. There are some limitations, but this is a reference book that everyone uses. My Sphinx book allows me to quickly see a rough value at different conditions and even gives me a description so I can learn to ID my coins into classes and subclasses too. There are Sphinx books dating back decades, and older books do not have colour pictures or lots of coins that have been discovered over the years. So a 2015 or older would be a great investment, but the prices won't be as accurate. Secondly, we have 3 small inexpensive books produced by Christopher R. Wren. They are a great introduction into the classes and subclasses of the short cross, long cross and sterling pennies. Christopher provides the mints and the moneys, what classes they're attributed to, pictures of how each of the classes are formed, what to look for and how they change throughout the series. These have been my go-to when studying the short and long cross series, especially when listing coins for Essex Coins. I think you can buy all 3 as a bundle for £50 via the Sphinx website, and all links to all books and websites will be down below. Thirdly, we have a new addition to my collection kindly gifted to me by Jerry. This is a short cross book designed for the metal detectorist. So how it works is you find the letter of the moneyer's name, you find the page that displays this letter, and then you find the abbreviation and the mint that is listed. This way you can see the king and class they are produced in. And then we can flip to the front of the book to research each of those classes to see which description fits our coin the best. He also includes an incredible amount of information on the mints, classes, Rudland mint and imitations too. This is a great book for just over £50, especially when compared to the Holy Grail book, the Mass book, that is seen as the go-to when studying the short cross series. But as a very wanted out-of-print book, this book will set you back £150 to £200 if you can find a copy. Big thanks to Jerry for sending me the book. And what a fantastic book and bit of numismatic reference material this is. Next we have a must-have for the Celtic coin enthusiasts. We have The Ancient British Coins by Chris Rudd. Now I haven't had this book in hand, but I've had a glance at a few pages and it's a Celtic equivalent of a Sphinx book, where he lists most types of every tribe and time period, with a brief description of the obverse and reverse, and this rarity too. You may see coins listed as ABC and a number, and this is the book it's referenced to. But as a book that comes to almost £80 or £90, I can't justify it just yet. For those gaming token collectors, I have found a book called 1000 Guineas Plus, a checklist of imitation guineas and their fractions. We have a great book on the mints and moneyers from the reign of Henry III by Roe Churchill. Next, I'd recommend the John Brooker collection for those Charles I collectors. John Brooker was a well-known Charles I collector who has his whole collection amalgamated into a book, with the coins, plate and description. Many sales posts or online descriptions of coins will reference a Brooker number, and for about £20, this book is a fantastic guide to IDing those Charles I coins, and even better if you can find an example that isn't listed in his book. And as a collector who had hundreds of gold coins and more than one triple unite, it really was a fantastic collection. It's just a shame that all of the coins are in black and white. Now for the absolute beginner, I fully recommend England's Striking History that was kindly gifted to me by my good friend Robert Fox just 2 weeks into collecting. This £7 book gives a fantastical historical background to the English monarchy, their coins and everything you may need to know when you first begin. It covers some of the hardest coinages, key terminology and is a great book to get you going into the hobby. We then have my most expensive book, that is the English Coins by Lord Stuartby. Now, Lord Stuartby was a politician by day who amassed an incredible collection of English coins. This £65 out-of-print book was hard to get hold of, but goes into the incredible history behind the coins, coin history, that I would suggest to those experienced numismatists as it does require a higher level of knowledge to understand. I'm currently making my way through the short cross section, and I picked this one up via the Sphinx website. Next we have the Galactica guide from the Galactica website. There are many books on this website published by many different authors that provide professional guides to IDing different coinages. Firstly, for those who saw my New Year's goal video, will know that I'm trying to learn to ID sterling Edward pennies, and this book by Paul and Bente Withers is fantastic. It provides details on the different characteristics of the coins to look for, like the band, different lettering style, the fleurs, etc. It also gives a description of the class and subclass, as well as high-resolution pictures depicting the changes that happen through the classes and subclasses too. For around £25, it really engrosses you into a notoriously intimidating series. Next we have the few smaller guides to half pennies and farthings. Now don't expect a fully published hardback book, as they're more like, in my mum's words, leaflets. But they contain some incredible information on different series, allowing you to learn the classes and types for those famously bad produced fractional silver coins. I think they were £14 each, so not too expensive, and are a good value for money considering the information you get from them. Next we have the two JJ North books that are very similar to that of the Sphinx books without the pictures. I have the second copy, that ranges from Edward I to Charles II, and in some ways, although with pictures, once you're familiar with the terminology in classes and coinages, the North books provide a description of each coin type that is far superior to that of Sphinx. But the only caveat is that you're not able to see the coin in print. That allows a peace of mind that you have the correct ID, but that will come with time and confidence. Again, for around £20 is a very good value for money, and once I'm able to afford more Anglo-Saxon coins, I will definitely pick up the first copy too. Now for those looking to get familiar with a specific coinage, here is a very inexpensive book that I purchased for £5. That is a small little out of print book on the Bristol Mint. I spoke about this book during my history of the Bristol Mint video, linked above. And if you're looking to learn about the mint during its use in different locations across the last 1,000 years, then definitely consider picking yourself up a copy. And the last book in my collection is a very cheap published book by Ivan Buck on medieval groats. This is a great introduction to medieval groats as a whole, that analyses style, punches, rarity, initial marks, and the history, and much, much more. There is lots of history of this much-loved series, so for around £10 it's a great addition to any numismatic collection. So lastly, I thought I would include a few websites as well. If you haven't already come across it, the British Numismatic website is incredible. Not only does it hold lots of recorded coins from different classes, but it also gives you access to academic journals and published pages from the last 150 years. They have papers dedicated to such niche areas of numismatics, as well as papers covering areas as a whole too. Secondly, I would suggest going over to the Rod Blunt website. Rod Blunt is a numismatist who has put together some online content for those looking to learn about classes. It isn't as detailed or as easy to use as the book that we saw earlier, but for those who want to see a coin of every description and every class of the short and long cross, it's a fantastic place to start. Next, for those absolute beginners, I recommend the PS Detecting website. This was an absolute dream to find when I first started, as it has a list of monarchs, their initial marks, where they were minted, what denomination they were found on, and it also has a section dedicated to different legends found on different coins. This helped me a lot more than once when learning about hammered coins. There are so many websites out there that I cannot include them all, so links are below in the description and in the pinned comment. Be sure to follow collectors' collection websites, auction sites, dealer sites, Facebook sites, magazines, and anything numismatic you can find, even if it's on something you're not really interested in. So I hope that has helped you in giving some insight into the books and information that is out there, should you want to continue and further your English hammered coin knowledge. Please comment down below any other books or websites that could offer help to others, and be sure to let me know what books you have in your collection. Thank you all for watching, and as always, keep collecting.